Hi, Ted Lasso fans. Welcome to Tori Talks with Dr. S. I'm Tori. This is Dr. S. We're going to discuss episode 9 of season 3. It's called La Locker Room à Folie or something like that. Oh. I don't speak French and I don't know AUX.
Is it like La Cage à Fall? Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's à fall. La Locker Room à Fall.
I guess so. Like La Cage à Fall, like the bird cage.
Yeah. Good job.
Lay off that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, let's talk about the heart of this episode immediately because Isaac was kind of slighting Colin and he doesn't want to hang out with him. He doesn't want to talk to him. But we all know Isaac has no problem with Colin being gay. Did you ever for a second suspect that, he's uncomfortable with Colin being gay?
To be honest, I wasn't sure what the feelings were that he had. Because when you think about it, we don't know that much about him. And my preconception is that, it's a sports world. And in our real life sports world, there are very, very few, one or two openly gay athletes. So I didn't know where the show was going to take it. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe he would be like, no, it's against my culture, my religion, and then it could have been a whole thing. So I guess I didn't know, but I didn't want that.
Yeah,
because it's also, this is not the real world. This is Ted Lasso world. This is the Ted Lasso way. So, and we've been talking about how's it all gonna come out, right? Mm-hmm. We knew this had to happen, and how is this episode gonna deal with it? So.
I never for a second ever thought Isaac would ever have a problem with him being gay. I didn't really know what he was frustrated about, but I never suspected that. Because, we definitely don't know Isaac that well, but he's the captain. Mm-hmm. And he's the captain for a reason. Yeah. That has something to do with his character as well. Yeah. But also, this is Ted Lasso, you said. And we don't watch the show relating to it. Honestly, it's actually more like we're learning from it. So I think that they presented it the way people should be taking the news of your teammate being gay. It's not like...
It's kind of a fantasy.
It's a fantasy, but it's like that whole you see the world as it should be, not as it is. And that's what Ted Lasso is. Seeing the world as it should be.
Wouldn't it be so great?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be so easy?
I know.
If because...
And it should be, though. Well, that's what I don't get.
How it should be.
I know.
Exactly.
That's why I think I couldn't just be like, everything's going to be okay. I know what genre we're dealing with, but then I also know, the real world that we live in. Yes. And so I was like, what's going to happen?
I know. But, when Isaac... is when they're because they have that belligerent fan that screams the F word.
Yes.
The other F word. And Isaac loses his about it. And I also thought because that would be the trigger word because he knows his friend is gay and he hates ignorant people. Now, Isaac broke my freaking heart when he was crying to Roy, and Roy was so graceful about it, and I just really love that moment.
Yes.
But That's when probably it was decided, no, we know that he's not.
When he said, what if someone on our team is gay? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then Colin being brave enough to come out to a team full of probably mostly heterosexual men.
But the way they handle it is so perfection. Where they're all looking at each other, trying to figure out who it is. Jamie's like, I'm flattered.
Flattered. I would be too, right? Exactly.
I mean, it was just so well done.
It
was the tone was just perfect.
I agree. So they handled it really well. And basically, to sum it up, the way they felt about it was, we don't care.
Yeah.
We don't even think about it because it's not an issue. It's not a topic of conversation to be did you know this person's gay? We're just okay.
And did you love how, Colin didn't even say it?
Yeah.
I like that they didn't out him. He didn't even say it because it was just, the understood. I know, I just thought that was a cool moment.
And the best moment, of course, is at the end when Isaac comes over to tell Colin, he's mad at him because he's like, you lied to me. You didn't tell me. It was so cute.
It was so perfect.
It was more like that.
The conversation that they had when Colin was 99% of me knew that you would be okay, but my fear of that 1%.
Of course.
Oh my God, that broke my heart.
That was so beautiful they're sitting on the couch playing and he's kind of so what about this? What about that? He's just learning.
All the questions.
What happens when we're in the shower? He's I just look down and his mind is his own.
I love that. Yeah, they're just friendly conversation while playing the video games and
But he has questions.
I wish it was just like that.
That's how it should be. It's not a big freaking deal.
I know.
And if you feel like it's a big deal, I think you need to
look within.
Yes.
Yes.
Help yourself. Who cares?
Yeah,
okay,
seriously.
so that was one of the best moments of Ted Lasso ever. But more things happened in this episode. That was obviously like the heart of it. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about Jade visiting Nate at work and their relationship. So how do you feel about Jade? Still feel good about her?
The fact that her name is actually Jaded.
She's named after her aunt. Jaded. I love that.
I know.
So this girl's kind of becoming one of my favorite people in the world.
How did that happen?
She's just snuck in there like under the radar. But I see the appeal, Nate, because she's so chill. She's so laid back. And I like that she didn't cower to Rupert when he was like, oh, you're out of his league. And she just kind of stared at him. I mean, she didn't say anything. She's very neutral, which is always her face. Her face is always neutral.
I was so wondering what Rupert was trying to do. Is that whole thing like, what are you trying to plot here?
Hit on her, steal her.
Yeah, what were you going to do? Like, invite her out too? So
he's trying to be his Rupert charming self and be like, oh, you're from Poland. And I know exactly where.
Bring Nate, like, down.
So he can be lifted up. I mean, that's exactly. And then, but I'm sad for Nate because when he tries to be like, because she's like, oh, well, he seems rich. And then, but he's like, oh, he's a good guy. He's done a lot for me. But we're like, kind of on the surface, really. But not
using
deep
you to get
down.
back at like, Ted and Rebecca.
And doing it in a very manipulative way. But Jade remains a constant, and Rupert asks him to go for guys' night, but really that entails drinking bottles of champagne with two women.
Two women that, like, who are these women? Just people, like, did he, like, hire them to hang out? Because it was very weird.
He probably has to.
They're hanging,
It's another example of toxic masculinity. Yes. Like, guys' night, like, when women have girls' night, or when Keely and Rebecca have, like, girl talk, like, it's literally girls. And when you have girl night, literally, it's just the girls. So why can't guys' night not include women?
Right.
But why does it have to be, maybe even objectifying women? Maybe those women really like it. I don't know. But
and Rupert wants Nate to be like him.
Yes.
Like, cheat on his girlfriend so that they can be, like, morally equal.
Yes.
Which, like, disgusting.
It's gross. But Nate does not.
I was so happy. Falter. I was like, there's Nate.
He went back
This is the path.
Yes. He made that decision, and Rupert gave him a horrible look, but I don't care. Who cares?
Yeah, totally.
F off, Rupert.
I don't know what's going to happen now in their relationship. Rupert's probably going to do really mean things to Nate, but
Jade's solid.
Yeah.
Jade's solid.
Yeah. I love when she just hugged him.
This is the sweetest. Oh, never knew that the hostess from back in the other season was going to
be a big deal.
Pivotal. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so they're good.
Yep.
Yeah, Jack and Keely, that's 100% squashed, right? Like, she sent these messages.
I'm just kind of annoyed with the whole thing. Just why? Just a lot of throwaway characters this season.
She's a total throwaway character, but also...
she took up too many episodes.
She did.
At least Zava was, like, here and gone quickly.
But yeah, I'm telling you, that's them trying to thwart us, trying to throw us on, like, who Keely's going to end up with, or if with anybody.
Right.
But that made us think, oh yeah, Jack, that's totally a thing, right? But then no.
But it was just not really a consistent character. Like, I was like, oh, she's cool. This is the red flag. She buys extravagant gifts. No, she's actually, like, a jerk.
The thing I hate the most about it is, why is Keely even trying to crawl back? Like, why is she even trying to... Why is she sending text after text?
Why is she waiting? I guess
what do you mean? Yeah. We already know she's not good.
You don't want her.
For you. She's not... You guys aren't right, so why are you doing that?
I didn't like that either.
Yeah, so Rebecca slapped some sense in her. No, I'm just kidding. She'll figure it out. I think she already did figure it out, to be honest with you. Yeah. And then Ted comes in and gives Rebecca a biscuit, and then what does he give Keely?
The money?
Yeah.
He
thought of her, though. That was really sweet.
Were there biscuits in there, too, though?
That's what I thought.
So a bunch of money now on the food? I was like, yeah, come on, Ted.
Stop. I didn't even think about that. And then Ted exits with, like, some kind of rhyming about apartment and fart scent.
Oh, that was so funny.
Okay. That was just Ted being Ted. But, all right, so Rebecca takes issue with Roy because Roy was asked to do the press conference because Ted had to go on a meeting about his son, and Roy reluctantly kind of says yes, but then it's not him in there. It's Beard. And he's arguing about, like, guitar players.
Yeah, who the greatest rock guitar is of all time or something like that.
He's passionate. You struck a chord. But you know why? At first I was like, wait, why are they even asking him and Rebecca about that? You know why? Because they're winning. So what do you got to ask them? They probably ask them all the questions like, what's your new strategy? Or how do you execute this? So, of course, what else is there to talk about but guitar players and who's the best? But anyway, Rebecca stands up to Roy, and I like when she calls him out in front of all the guys and says he has a hairy butt, and he's like, You all know I don't have a hairy butt, and not one of you said anything.
That was so funny.
Oh, I love it. Anyway, but yeah, so her big advice to him was, will you just get out of your way? Like, stop it. Like, even with Keely.
He's so afraid of... Well, I never even put it together, the connection to the breakup with Keely, until the way Rebecca said it, right? Because it was all kind of like, he kept saying, like, I broke up with her.
Yeah.
But I didn't really connect it to his, like, deep insecurity and, like, fear of rejection and failure.
Maybe not being good enough.
And it's all realms of his life. Yeah. Not just like, oh.
Then
Keely really was hurt.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure. I thought maybe that's the story that they allowed to be told.
Yeah.
But Keely was moving on. But really, she is actually hurt.
Yep. I know.
So then I'm like, are they back on the table?
Yes.
They are, right? Yes. You're 100%.
Right, everybody?
Right?
Right, Scottish Joe? Right, David?
They are so good together. If Roy would just get out of... Because confident Roy is hot.
So hot.
Mopey Roy?
Not so much.
Come on.
No. Well, he does actually end up doing the press conference, the post-game press conference, which he thrives in, and he talks about how footballers are people also, because the fans screaming expletives at your team, well, first of all, what does that do? Do you think that's supposed to, like, encourage them to do better? Like, you're just, like, crapping on them, and then they just feel low, and then their morale goes down, right? So he's trying to say, like, and he has that wonderful story.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I get it. Like, wait, you think this is all we do? Like, we're people too.
We're people, and then if you never know, like, what your impact is going to be on a person. And I love the way Roy told that story.
Yeah.
And I also like the way he said, I don't know what was going on for Isaac that day, and it's none of my business.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's so true. Like, you never know how, like, you just set a person off and, like, what else has been going on in their head. That's why, like, when you're just, like, walking around seeing people, like, say hi, be nice.
Yeah, come on.
What's the point of being mean to, like, somebody? Like, you could be, like, the 10th person that was mean to them that day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we learned a lot of lessons this episode. Yes. And also, just Ted Lasso being great. It continues to be great.
This was one of my favorite episodes ever. It was perfect.
What do we have? 3 episodes left? Aww. I'm not ready for it to end. But again, it seems like it's open to a possibility of it not ending. But maybe it needs to, because we always want shows to go out on a high note, right? And
I feel like the last couple have been getting back to, like, the Ted Lasso that I love, and so hopefully the next 3 will be as perfect.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. I think they're going to wrap it up with a little bow on top. All right, everybody. What did you think of this episode of Ted Lasso? Please let us know by commenting below. And thank you to everybody that does take the time to comment and like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. We love talking to you. I really love hearing their opinions and their interpretations, because this is just 2 people of many that watch Ted Lasso. So thank you for that. And then we'll see you next week. Sorry this was so late. Bye-bye.